Chapter 55 Blue Moon. Hi boys, I got your message. A lot has happened and I wanted to go through it all with you both, so it seemed to make more sense to come in person. We have a lot to discuss, said Dellie as he walked down his gangplank and met Graham and Bouncer for the first time on what seemed an age. Hi Dellie, they both replied as they went in for hugs. No sooner as they had hugged, Dellie said, "Are you ready then?" "Ready for what?" replied Graham. "Our chat," replied Dellie. "Oh, okay, yes, of course we're ready," replied Graham, who had turned and started walking to the operations room again. "Graham, where are you going?" "The ship is this way," pointed Dellie. "What do we need the ship for, Dellie?" asked Bouncer. "Well, I didn't want to have our chat on Earth, so I have made preparations to nip to the moon," replied Dellie as he neared his spaceship and started up the gangway. "The moon? Why the moon?" screamed Bouncer, turning to catch up with his mysterious friend. "Well, it'll be quieter for one thing," replied Dellie as he stuck his head out from the entrance to the ship. "And there won't be any walls with ears. Well, there'll be no walls at all for that matter." "Okay then, off to the moon we go," said both Graham and Bouncer as they walked into the ship. "Come on then, the moon awaits," smiled Dellie as he carried on walking into the ship. "Do you think we can claim air miles for all this, Graham?" asked Bouncer, smiling as he followed Dellie into the ship. Graham followed closely behind. "I doubt it, Bouncer, but if we could imagine the holiday we could go on. Don't forget it was around 300 million miles to Trigon. That's 3 million pounds each way at a penny a mile," smiled Graham as they both took a seat as the door closed. No more than 5 minutes later they were leaving the atmosphere and heading on translunar injection. It didn't seem long ago that they had done a similar thing on their way to Trigon, or Mars as they knew it then. As the ship climbed out of Earth's gravitational well, Graham pondered how they could possibly get to the moon so fast. "Dellie, how fast will we be going?" "It took the Apollo craft 4 days to get to the moon." "Ah yes, we'll be going a little quicker than those boys, Graham," replied Dellie. "Oh, okay. How much faster exactly, Dellie?" "Oh, about 100,000 miles per hour faster. We should be landing in less than 2 hours," said Dellie as his hands flew over the ship's controls. "I may need a sick bag, Graham," said Bouncer. "Me too, Bouncer, me too." "Won't we get spotted by the military on the surface, Dellie?" asked Graham. "No, going at this speed and based on our size they will simply presume we are an asteroid or something similar," replied Dellie with a knowing assuredness. Reasonably satisfied, the boys looked at each other and settled into their rather comfy seats. Not 100 minutes later they were on the surface of the far side of the moon, safely out of sight of any earthly watchers. "Right then, it seems Sepuchre are making headway irrespective of what we tried to do to stop them," said Dellie. "Yes," replied Graham. "They have discovered time travel and Lord knows what else they'll manage." "Well, discovering time travel is one thing, but being able to do time travel is quite another. Until they find either more solarium or develop a much more powerful energy creation device, they will not be able to time travel on a regular basis." "So how can we prevent that?" asked Bouncer. "I am not sure we can," accepted Dellie. "I have had some worrying news from Jean. They have posted a guard at the solarium, and last week the shift guard spotted a strange shimmer in the room and could clearly see a human on the other side. They did not know what it was, but I can only guess it was some form of remote viewing device that Sepuchre have developed to track solarium. Amongst other things, they know there was far more solarium in Greece than they had found, and they must be looking for it. It is simply too much of a coincidence that this was seen exactly where we hid the solarium." "So what can we do, Dellie, about that?" asked Graham. "I am not sure. We really need to find out if Sepuchre have the capability to recover it, and then we can determine our next course of action," said Dellie. "Do you really think they can get it back?" asked Graham. "I really don't know, but I am going to find out," replied Dellie with a steely look in his eyes, steely determination driving his need to overcome Sepuchre.